Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's a little after 7 my time, and I haven't eaten yet, so it's time to make something to eat. I'm going to be using my multi-pot. You can use a crock pot, you can put it on the stove and saute it, but quick, easy, and delicious recipe. First, I'm going to start with half a cup of basmati rice. You can use jasmine. You can use white rice. You can use brown white rice or wild rice or whatever. Pouring it right in. I'm taking one chicken thigh. Just one. That's all I need. Just cooking for me. Putting it right in. Now, of course, if you're cooking for you and other people, you might want to add more. But just cooking for me, this is a boneless, skinless chicken thigh. Taking off that skin means getting rid of a lot of that fat, not having the bone with it. If you have the bone left over, you can always boil it down and use it to start you a nice little broth or something for some soup. But this is just quick, easy, and delicious for me. 2 lightly chopped garlic cloves. And I have a container, which is a 1 cup size container of mixed vegetables. These are like leftovers from lunch, honestly. So it'll be a colorful meal, but I'll have my nutrients, I'll have my vegetables, I'll have my meat all together. And yes, I just dumped it in right on top. Take the innards out of it. I kind of like that about the multi pot. It's in there. And I'm going to use some vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth. You can use water if you don't have any broth. Um, I'm only using half of this container, which means I'll be using 16 ounces. So if you have a measuring cup and you can measure 16 ounces, that's how much I'm using. And I can hear somebody's mind saying, how does she know she's only using 16 ounces? Because I can feel pretty much where the consistency of the liquid is in the container. And honestly, because I'm using basmati rice and regular white rice, I can put the whole container in. In fact, why don't I just go on and do that? Not gonna hurt it at all. One of the things about basmati rice is that, aside from its wonderful nutty flavor that I enjoy, it soaks up a lot more liquid, even though it doesn't like explode and get poofy like other rices might do if they're overcooked. Basmati rice will cook beautifully, taste wonderful, and but it soaks up a lot of liquid. It soaks up a bit more than other rices, or has in my opinion, in my experience. So I've got my chicken in there, half a cup of rice, cup of mixed vegetables, full container of the vegetable broth, which is 32 ounces. Like I said, using the basmati rice, gotta add a little more. And I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons, healthy tablespoons, 2 heaping tablespoons of a Thai seasoning, a Thai sauce in with mine because I like it a little spicy. You don't like the spice? You gotta put the spice in. You can prepare it just like it is. You can put barbecue sauce instead, or teriyaki sauce or Alfredo or whatever after everything is cooked, so it doesn't get soupy. Or you can put tomato sauce. But I like a little bit of a zing, so I'm adding this in. And I'm sorry I'm turning my back to you. I got to work on my camera placement. And I just realized I didn't add in my new theme music, so I will have to do that next time. Put the lid on. Line that up. There's off. Got poultry, meat or stew, beans and chili, soup, broth. You have a variety of buttons that can be used. Since I have the chicken, which is poultry, and I also have the rice, and I do want the rice cooked very well, I first have to engage this. And I'm going to prepare it as a stew. 35 minutes. Quick, easy, and delicious. Now, of course, if you do it in a crock pot and you're wanting to eat it today, and it's on. If you're doing it in the crock pot and you want to eat it today, turn the crock pot to high. If you're not wanting to wait all day for it. If you started in the morning, then by afternoon, after you run some errands or go to work or do whatever, it could be ready that way. You can do it on the stove in a large saucepan, put in the rice, add your other ingredients. You don't have to use mixed vegetables if you don't like mixed vegetables. You can use green beans or peas or carrots or whatever. That's what's nice about it because you're trying to treat yourself. You're not trying to cheat yourself. You can add whatever you need to add to make it right for you, and put it on medium, low to medium heat. Especially if the meat is thawed already, you want it to cook fully. You can add salt and pepper to taste if you do the salt and pepper, or you can add your own other little special seasonings. You saw what I added in mine today. And you cook it with the lid on it. Let it come to a rolling boil where you start seeing the bubbles coming up. Have that lid on there and let it cook for a couple of minutes that way. And then turn the heat down closer to low or medium low, and let it continue to cook so the flavors and everything work their way into your chicken or fish or your alternative meat product or whatever it is you're desiring to use. So it's very easy. Frees up your hands to be able to do other things. Come back and check on your food like within 15, 20 minutes. See how it's looking. Take that lid off if it's on the stove and see how it's looking. Here, 35 minutes, all that rice and everything will be done. Will have absorbed all that wonderful liquid and it will be ready for me to eat. I've been, working more on the hydroponic gardening, which I've talked about before. And initially, I only had one veg box when I started my hydroponic gardening. And I enjoyed being able to grow food and be productive and there's no GMOs and it's very simple to do. Even if you are living in a multifamily type housing like a condo or a townhouse or an apartment, very easy to do because it comes with this little grow light system and everything all built in. Mimics daylight, the whole bit. Add your water, add your liquid fertilizer, have your seeds in the top. Bam. You can watch it. After the first week, you're going to see some action. Within a month, You'll really see enough production that you can start picking or cutting at different things to be able to eat, and you can be able to use it all year long. That's what's nice. You don't have to worry about outdoor pests coming after your stuff. You don't have to worry about our wonderful weather changes that keep happening. Um, just enjoy what you have. So I have, started off with one veg box, then I got a second one, and then I started thinking, boy, this is really, really working well for me. And I've mentioned on my channel about growing for yourself because we don't know what's really going to happen. We've seen the food be left out in the middle of the harbor and all the weird things that are going on. We've seen it already. We've seen, going into the grocery stores, which you can look at some of the thumbnails on some of my videos and you see where some of the shelves were just empty. Or going in and what I call frontlining. I don't know if you remember I did the video on the bamboo toilet paper and I went by one area in that particular store and it looked beautiful and full. And as soon as I pulled the first can off the shelf, there was nothing in the background. That's what I call frontlining. Other people might call it something else. But to me, it's like everything is lined up like a wall, making it look all pretty, but there's nothing but a lot of emptiness behind there. And I understand they were trying to keep people motivated and encouraged to come shopping because if their products and supplies are not being delivered to the store, what are they going to do? You don't want mass panic and people stealing or purchasing a gazillion rolls of toilet paper or packages of coffee or whatever. But, everyone has needs. So that's why preparedness is an ongoing thing. Look at your home, take inventory of what you have, um, organize things in a way where you can see what you're running low on. If you're using canned goods, check the dates and make sure that the older things are in the front so that you are eating those things first and the newer things are behind, and keep that rotation system going so that way your food that are canned goods don't become wasted. And if you're doing canned goods, they're not going to have as long of a shelf life as buying, survival dehydrated or freeze dried food. It's just not going to happen. But it's food. And you can take what you have and work with what you have to make it last to the best benefit of you. If you're able to do your own dehydrating and have a dehydrator, maybe you get too many carrots when you go shopping or whatever. If there's a particular item that's on sale and you say, "Oh, okay, I got this, but do I really need 2 bags of carrots, even though it's buy one get one free right now?" Sure, just take it, have one in your fridge to eat, the other one, slice them thinly, put them on those trays. You can dry them up, store them, and save them for in the winter. That's something I've been doing for years because who wants to go out in the snow and shop? Maybe you do, but for me, I like to have as much as I already need, or, you know, where I can basically cover my needs for whatever and work with what I have. So I enjoy dehydrating. I enjoy storing up, sharing this information with you all, which I hope it's helpful to you. If you find any of this helpful, please give it a thumbs up or, a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, would love it if you would subscribe and share the video with others that you think it might be helpful to. There's a lot of people that have transitioned from having big families and big households to just living by themselves. Kids grown up, gone off to college or doing whatever, and they're not busy thinking about you as much. So sometimes you just gotta take care of yourself and you gotta eat the right things so that your body has the nutrition that it needs and you have the energy that you need and your health continues to improve. which is part of this whole 4-month challenge. Drinking more water, moving your muscles and your arms and things more. I don't care if you're doing it with empty hands or if you're holding a can and using that like it's a weight, or if you go for a walk, if you're wiggling your toes, if you had problems wiggling your toes before, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, you know, work some crossword puzzles or word search. Do things that are going to keep you active and sharp, because that's what we need in these days. I'm going to show you this. Yeah, that'll be on for a while. I don't know how well you can see it. It says Danette. I have a friend that went all the way to France to visit her family because she moved here from there. And she said that my name was a brand of yogurt in France. And that yogurt that comes in chocolate, hey, sounds like a winner to me. Unfortunately, they do not sell Danette yogurt in America. I think it's only in France and Canada. And Danette yogurt is a part of the Dannon brand of yogurts. Anybody out there from the company can find a way to send me some of that yogurt, I would greatly appreciate it. But I won't hold you up. Food is cooking. I know you've got to eat too. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon.